My colleague Anuj is right now joining us from outside National Herald House. Anuj, just take us through what you're picking up right now.
Well, exactly, Shavan. These are the live images coming in from the Herald House at the ITO of the National Capital. And as we do know that this is at the 12 location where the properties which is related to National Herald or AGL at this point in time, this is being raided by the Enforcement Directorate. We do know, as you were also pointing it out, that the two accused, Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, has been questioned by the Enforcement Directorate. We have seen it earlier. What exactly has happened? This was Rahul Gandhi who was grilled by the Enforcement Directorate, and after that this was none other but Sonia Gandhi herself who hold 34% of the share in the company. They both were grilled by the Enforcement Directorate. So we are reporting from the National Herald main office. That's at the main office. I'll ask my video journalist to once again give you the sense of the area from where I'm reporting. This is the ITO of the National Capital, the National Herald office, the Herald House. It is written over there, and the Enforcement Directorate team is in action at this point in time. The raid is underway in this at this point in time. This is around 12 locations, what we have been told, being raided by the Enforcement Directorate. We do understand this is about the irregularities about the fund, that what exactly has happened. The dots has been connected. The duo, Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, was questioned by Enforcement Directorate. This was to connect the dots, to match the answers of both, that what exactly has happened and how the property was bought in, how the money trail has gone through. This all are the question which was asked by Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi both. Earlier it was told that the duo were not cooperating with the Enforcement Directorate, but Enforcement Directorate connecting the dots, now moving ahead with the thing. This we do understand the case has been registered. We do know that how the petition was given by Subramaniam Swamy of Bharatiya Janata Party, and after that we have seen how the suo motu was taken by the court, and after this now this is the further step which has been, if we talk about the investigation in the particular case. Now the things have been taken forward by the Enforcement Directorate, as we are telling it to a viewer that this is around 12 location which is related, the properties which is related to National Herald, which is related to AGL, being raided by the Enforcement Directorate. So we are reporting from the ITO, from the Herald House, which is the main office of the National Herald in the National Capital, and at this point in time when we are talking, the Enforcement Directorate raid is underway. So this is going to be the part of the investigation, how the investigation has been done, the questioning has been done, and after that this is the next move of the agency, this is the next move of the Enforcement Directorate, where we are seeing at this point in time that the raid is underway. So we will have to wait and watch what exactly will be recovered, whether they are going to take some papers, whether they are going to question the staff, that what exactly has happened and how the funds was transferred, what is exactly the money trail which has been nabbed by the Enforcement Directorate, and on which the Enforcement Directorate is working and doing the investigation. So they are going to again connect the dots, as the investigation is already being taken further by the Enforcement Directorate. The ED team at this point in time is investigating. The ED team at this point in time is raiding the place. So this is the 12 location what we have been told in the National Capital, which is under the radar of Enforcement Directorate, and the raid at this point in time is underway. We do understand the kind of investigation that has been done, the questioning that has been done by the Enforcement Directorate, by Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. There sometime it was stated that the duo was not cooperating with the Enforcement Directorate, but the Enforcement Directorate now clearly having the leads, and as the part of the investigation going ahead with the things at this point in time is raiding the property. So reporting from the National Herald House, from the Herald House in the National Capital, from the ITO, we are breaking this that at 12 location in total in the National Capital, what we have been told, the Enforcement Directorate is raiding when we are talking about National Herald case. Yes, back to you.
Well, some more details now coming in, Anuj, as you were rightly pointing out, about 12 premises, including few in Kolkata. There are no residential premises. In fact, I'm now being told that it's on National Herald and companies that have been involved in suspicious transactions. That's the latest details now coming in, is what I'm getting from my sources. In fact, this is also in the searches are being carried out right now in Kolkata, and and also I'm being told that there's a possibility that these searches could be carried out in Mumbai, Delhi, and Kolkata. These are the three places, but we are getting in some more details as we speak right now. These are massive development actually taking place just days after Sonia Gandhi was actually called in for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate. Also, we can confirm is that there is a list of properties or assets that the Enforcement Directorate had asked Sonia Gandhi to essentially hand over or provide details of which I'm given to understand that Sonia Gandhi had essentially done that, and thereafter these searches are being carried out. Now these are companies also where these searches are being carried out, so these are not residential properties. So there is these are the latest details these are the latest details that are coming in right now. Let me also quickly go back. Let me quickly go back to Anuj. Anuj, just I want you to stay with the latest visuals that are coming in. Are you getting any information about what time did the Enforcement Directorate officials reach the National Herald House? Who are the people who are currently present right now?
Well, Chavan, right now we are waiting for the update that how much is the people. If you talk about the team, how many members of the Enforcement Directorate, the officials of the Enforcement Directorate inside there Herald House is. I'll ask my video journalist to first give you the sense of the area. So there you can see we are getting the visual. These are the live images, and what I've been told that this started at around 10:30, Shavan. At around 10:30 the team reaches here. The team reaches here at the Herald House, but in total when we are breaking these details at this point in time, that in total these are the 12 locations including Mumbai, including Kolkata and the national capital, which is being raided by the Enforcement Directorate. As you were pointing it out, that these are the commercial properties or the properties which belongs to AGL or to National Herald, and how the irregularities was done. This is all about the investigation. The Enforcement Directorate is connecting the dots, is going ahead with the investigation at 10:30 a.m. in the morning today. This exactly is the location from where I am reporting. This is the National Herald House. Herald House is the name of the building at which Enforcement Directorate reaches at around 10:30 in the morning. We are waiting that how many officials of Enforcement Directorate are inside there. We are waiting for the number, whether they are going to come out with the papers or they are going to interrogate or question the staff of the Herald, what exactly the dots where have been connected. And if we talk about the information that has been gathered by Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi both, then this is going to be matched by the officials here. This is going to matched by the papers also, that how the asset was bought. If we talk about this particular case, then how the asset was bought of AGL into Young India, and if we believe about the petition, and if we go through the investigation, what we have been told through our sources, then this is the huge amount which is not mentioned. So this is going to be the part of investigation. This is exactly the money trail on which the Enforcement Directorate is looking, that what exactly are the money trails and how this has been done, how the asset was bought, and who all were the people that were involved. Because the major, if we talk about the share, then 34% is the share which is being held by none other but Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, the duo who are accused in the same, the duo who has been questioned by the Enforcement Directorate in the same case, in the National Herald case. So we have seen it how Rahul Gandhi was called in by the Enforcement Directorate at the Enforcement Directorate office in the national capital itself, and there the questioning we have seen how it has been done. Rather, what we have been told that Rahul Gandhi was not cooperating in the manner in which ED was looking. Later, this was none other but Sonia Gandhi herself, the interim president of the Congress party, because the duo is having the share, the duo is having 34% share in the company. That's why they were called, and to understand about the money trail, how exactly everything has happened, how the asset was brought. This exactly is the part of investigation on which the Enforcement Directorate at this point in time is working. But this is huge. This is major. When Enforcement Directorate now connecting the dots after doing the investigation, after doing the round of questioning with Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, now moving ahead, this can be called as the next step of the investigation, because we have seen it. Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, both the duo were called by Enforcement Directorate. This was the list of questions which was put in front front of them, and after going through the investigation and the questioning, now this is the next step of the enforcement directorate. Yes, back to you, Shavan.
Yeah, stay with me. In fact, we're getting in correspondent Ishan Dev from Kolkata as well. Okay, let me also go across to Abhishek. Abhishek, we are hearing it's a multi-city raid. It's a multi-city raid in Kolkata. Some of the operators are the firms that were allegedly used to route money. And I think one of the companies was Dotex. We broke details of Dotex earlier on Republic TV. And this comes after their questioning, indicating, like Shavan was saying, that there's much more than what agencies, were suspecting. And that's why they're raiding now, even after the questioning began. But what this tells you is that there could be more to come in the next few days. Politically, this is a huge setback for the Congress party because they own Herald House. Naturally so. So what has happened is, Niranjan, that over the last 4 sessions of Rahul Gandhi and 2 sessions of Sonia Gandhi, there is a lot of information that has been gathered by the sleuths of the Enforcement Directorate, and that needs to be correlated with facts on the ground. So, for example, a record of what all properties are owned by the National or were owned by the National Herald that were subsequently transferred to Young Indian. That is one aspect. Whatever answers have been given by Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi in terms of ownership of those properties, are those facts there on the ground with these 10 or 12 locations? Remember, Subramanian Swamy has always claimed, Niranjan, that these properties spread across the country from Chandigarh in north to Mumbai in south and Bhopal and Delhi in between, even Jaipur perhaps and Bhopal. These properties, range anything in between 2,000 crore rupees to 5,000 crore rupees. So that net worth has to be assessed, because then only you can peg a value to the, scamming of whatever funds that happened, So if when Subramanian Swamy makes the charge that just for a paltry 50 lakh rupees or 1 crore rupees, even that was taken via some Hawala channel, how much of property was actually acquired by the Gandhis through the Young India platform? Also, when the Gandhis have claimed in their questioning that Young India was started for charity, what charity has been done? Is it getting reflected on the ground? Was it done through these properties? Because by itself, Young India does not have any property. All the properties were owned by National Herald. So, I think this is more like a correlation exercise on facts. This is checking facts on the ground. This is connecting the dots from whatever information has been gathered by the questioning that ED has done of the Gandhis to, the properties that exist on the ground. This is a very comprehensive exercise, the next stage of which obviously can be to ascertain the exact ownership, and Shavan would be in a better position to tell us whether this leads to taking away those properties or limiting the ownership right of these properties. Okay, so Kishla is there joining us from the Republic Bangla newsroom in Kolkata. Niranjan, and maybe Kishla can tell us what's happening in Calcutta, because apart from the properties of National Herald, Kolkata also has this Dotex connection to the National Herald's investigation. So, Kishla, over to you if you can tell us what's happening there on the ground in Kolkata connected with the National Herald's investigation by the Enforcement Directorate.
Exactly. From this morning, we were looking carefully at the CGO office of ED office, and we saw movement. 7 teams are out for raids, and a few of these teams are for raiding different properties of Partho Chatterjee, but also a few teams are on National Herald case, as you rightly informed. 12 locations in the whole country are raided by the ED related to National Herald case, and right now in Kolkata, though we do not have detailed information yet, but ED sources from Kolkata CG office are telling us some of these teams which are out for raiding, some of these teams among these 7 teams are dedicated for this National Herald case. So right now we have 2 updates from Kolkata. One is the teams which are raiding Partho Chatterjee and Orpita Mukherjee's apartments, and another is the teams which are right now dedicatedly raiding different areas which are related to the National Herald case. Right now in Kolkata, there's a huge deployment of securities outside the CGO complex and also in different locations where this ED team will visit. And apart from that, these 7 teams which are out, some of these teams are right now in Kolkata and some of these teams are right now in the districts. We are keeping a close watch and our reporters are following these teams, and we will be informing whatever is happening right now in Kolkata and the districts from West Bengal. Back to the studio.
There from Kolkata, Abhishek, that there are multi-level raids. In fact, here Kishale is saying that the ED is having a much more harder task to carry out in Kolkata with 2 cases now they're handling. In Partha Chatterjee cases, well, raids are being conducted. In the case of the Freedom Struggle for Profit scam, as well, in the case of National Herald and the Sonia and Rahul Gandhi Link Company, they're having to carry out raids. So multiple teams on the streets of Kolkata, in different parts of Kolkata. CRPF has been deployed, we are told, for the security of these teams as well. So while we stay on that story, I'm going back to the Herald House in Delhi, where it began this morning, where my colleague Anuj is. Anuj, why don't you tell our viewers, walk around Anuj, and show us around the Herald House and tell us what are the different offices in that building. Because what we also know is that this building, which was given a leeway by different governments in the guise of press functioning, etc., eventually made profits through commercial deals. That's one of the aspects of this case that many people may not know about. So why don't you tell our viewers about the different companies that are housed in the Herald House?
Well, exactly, Niranjan, let me give you the sense. Let me give you the sense of the area. This exactly is the Herald House as we are talking, and nearby there were different newspapers, offices. This is a corporate building, what I've been told and what we do know. I'll move ahead. I'll try and get the pictures clear that what all are the offices that are here. As we can see the people, this is the entry gate. This is the entry gate of the Herald House from where I'm reporting, and what I've been told, Niranjan, that this started at around 10:30 a.m. in the morning today when the ED officials reaches here. 10:30 a.m. in the morning, ED officials reaches here, and this is total. If we talk about in total, then this is 12 location which is under the radar, which is being raided by the Enforcement Directorate. So if we talk about these visuals, then these are the live images coming in from the Herald House. This is the Herald House. I'll go back, and as we will be showing a 360 view to our viewers of what exactly this office is, where this office exactly, the building exactly is situated. This is the ITO of the National Capital, where this particular building is, and this is called the Herald House. These are the visuals. Next to this building is Children's Book Trust, which I can see right of that is the metro station. And yes, this is the Herald House. At this point in time, when we are talking, Niranjan, 12 location is being raided, and at 10:30 in the morning, these were the officials of Enforcement Directorate who reaches here. The dots has been connected. We do understand, we do know the questioning, the 4 round of Rahul Gandhi, 2 round of Sonia Gandhi, and after that the things has been concluded, the dots has been connected. This can be called the next step of Enforcement Directorate when they are moving ahead with the investigation, when the dots has been already connected, and they are now searching the properties which is related to National Herald, which is somewhat connected to AGL, how the asset was brought. So what we have been told and what we are expecting, they are going to deep into the investigation to look into the papers that how this particular asset was bought and what exactly is happening. If we talk about this particular money trail on which Enforcement Directorate is working, where Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi duo has been questioned by the Enforcement Directorate. The questioning has been already done about the property, about the money trail, about the transactions which has been done. So all these things has been already noted down by the Enforcement Directorate, and now reaching to the properties wherever this is situated, as we are telling it to our